A 8 or 10-year-old child is able to operate Instagram without any assistance.
Kid's brain is built up in the kitchen.
What we call malnutrition. Now we are seeing the other extreme, malnutrition. Being silent and listening both have same words, silent and listen. Every day we see at least 1 or 2 children who are obese.
So, welcome to the program, Doctor, and it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
So, tell me something about yourself. Was becoming a pediatrician always your dream, or did tiny hearts win you over all along?
Ever since I remember, I always wanted to become a pediatrician. Initially, I wanted to become a doctor while I was doing my MBBS in second year of medicine. When we were exposed to different specialities, that's when I realized my passion is pediatrics.
So, ever wondered if kids came with a manual, wouldn't life be much easier?
I wouldn't agree with that because the whole idea of being a pediatrician is mastering the art of clinical medicine from a person who doesn't speak. So our specialty is completely different as compared to adult medicine. Also because they can express, they tell what they are going through, and it's relatively easy. I don't want to put down any other specialty. I always feel pediatrics is a challenging specialty because they cannot express themselves. We need to read between the lines. We need to read between the cries. So that's what I would say always.
Raising kids is a lot different and difficult when compared to the older generations. Why do you think that has changed?
Over last 2 decades, things have changed overall. Previously, we used to see, at least when we were kids, we used to see majority of them were joint families. So raising a kid in joint family has got its own advantages because they are exposed to multiple children, they are exposed to multiple adults. So all the time they are supervised. There is always a younger one who makes sure that child is disciplined. Now things have changed. Everywhere we see only nuclear families. And because of that, there is no supervision which is constant. And most parents, both of them are working. So most of the time they do depend on caretaker or helper. That's one major thing which has changed. And the influence of social media, influence of media, which is a huge thing. A 8 or 10-year-old child is able to operate Instagram or Facebook or YouTube videos without any assistance. That kind of social media influence has definitely brought out a significant change which can contribute to both good and bad, but it makes life of parents very difficult.
So it's more a tech-driven world today, what we see.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So talking about child and children development or overall well-being, one of the most important thing is nutrition and diet. Do you really think that's a big deal for children?
Yes, it is because overall development, when we are talking about overall development, it's not just physical, mental, and emotional being. Everything depends on 2 things. One is a healthy, nutritious diet and good physical activity. When we say nutritious diet, it need not be a dietitian prescribed high protein diet or anything like that. We talk about balanced diet. We should have carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and most importantly, vitamins and minerals. This generation, we see a lot of parents coming and asking for, can you prescribe a multivitamin syrup? All these syrups are meant to be temporary. Whereas if we get into the brains or minds of parents as well as children that nutritious diet takes care of vitamins and mineral requirement, it makes life easier and economical. So every child should consume at least 2 fruits per day and 5 vegetables per day. That gives us enough fiber, vitamins and minerals. And make sure child is taking dark green leafy vegetables because we see a lot of children coming with vitamin A deficiency, and we should make sure that they play in sun and outdoors. When we talk about playing, a lot of kids, they say that yes, my child does play. What does he play? Some video game. These kind of video games are not considered as activities related to sports. They should step out, play outdoors, but again it has got its own disadvantages because roads are not safe and outdoors are not safe. We see stray dogs attacking children, we see accidents happening. So we should give them a safe environment to play outdoors.
Absolutely. I think that's very well put up. So, is it true when they say that the kid's brain is built up in the kitchen?
It is, in a way, yes, it is. First 2 years of life, in fact, we talk about first 1,000 days of life, of which 9 months are spent in mother's womb. And once the baby is born, that is after 2 years of birth, that is when 80% of the brain develops. That is the crucial phase where we need to make sure that child is getting good diet and good activity. They learn from what they hear, not from what they are told to do. They learn from what they see, not what they are asked to see. Most of these kids, by the time they are toddlers, they tend to crawl or walk into the kitchen. And make sure you involve the kids in the process of making food. For example, balcony gardening, it's a very simple yet very effective process, I would say. Based on my experience itself, not just my clinical experience, my personal experience also, when I add, it's good to encourage children to get into gardening. Let them grow vegetables or fruits of their choice. When they see the plants which they have sown seeds, they become plants and then yield fruits or vegetables. They get excited. And get the kids to make the menu for that particular week. So when they participate or get involved in cooking, they tend to take it.
We see a lot of kids having a lot of junk food these days. Do you really think that's a big deal? I mean, then the harmful effects untaya later on.
Definitely. Previously, we used to see what we call malnutrition, that is undernourished. Now we are seeing the other extreme, malnutrition, because kids are exposed to these malls and westernized kind of foods, junk foods. When we call junk, I would just expand it junks. Instead of J-U-N-K, I would say J-U-N-C-S. J is junk food, which we are all talking about. That is fast food, street food, and all those things. And U is ultra processed foods, because nowadays we see all these packed foods which are ultra processed with chemicals and preservatives and all. N is nutritionally inappropriate foods. That is, it is not meant for that particular child. It has to be catered to every child separately. And C is carbonated or caffeinated drinks, because nowadays we are seeing a lot of companies have come up with carbonated drinks. Some of them they advertise as energy drinks. And S is sugar or sweetened beverages. When we see these junks in place, it tends to lead to obesity. That is what I call malnutrition. That is based on mall related food, what they eat. Obesity has become a pandemic now. It is definitely a big health issue.
Even in children?
Absolutely. Obesity means it's not just in adults. Now we are seeing increased prevalence in children. Every day we see at least 1 or 2 children who are obese. At least 1 child with metabolic syndrome. Every week we see 1 or 2 children with hypertension. We are talking about children developing diabetes, hypertension. Now I have more than 100 children under my follow-up who are diabetics.
But today we see a lot of kids hooked onto the screen and spending very less time outdoors. What's your take on that? I mean, no screen time for below 2 years kid. Is that still applicable?
Absolutely. Less than 2 years, 0 screen time. 2 to 5 years, 30 minutes of screen time can be allowed. School going children, depending on the activities which teachers expect, 30 to 60 minutes can be allowed. But again, it should not be at a stretch, because when children are exposed to prolonged periods of screen, they can develop refractive errors and they can develop something called digital eye strain. We call it rule of 20-20-20. Every 20 minutes, take a break of 20 seconds and look at an object which is 20 feet away. As a parent, we should be the role models. If we go back home from work and sit in front of the screen, child learns that yes, it is okay to sit in front of the screen. And second thing is, there should be 0 screen while eating food. This is an important aspect which is easy yet very effective, which I follow.
I think that's perfectly said. Another important aspect is stress and anxiety, which we often see in every adult. But do you think this is also common among children?
It has become a new common. I won't say it has always been there like that, but now it has become a new norm. The reason being, they are exposed to media, they are exposed to social media, and more importantly, the peer pressure. Especially when they see children of their age group using some gadgets or new things, they feel that they are left out ones. That a small thing which can lead to anxiety. And second thing, the peer pressure about education. Some of them getting into the best schools. We see now 10th and 12th standard, even 95th centile is not enough. So that kind of pressures have definitely increased. It is okay to be not okay. It is okay to open up. If we give that confidence to children, when I'm talking about two children, be it as a parent or as a teacher or as a pediatrician or as a doctor, give them confidence that we are here to listen, we are here not to judge you, they tend to open. Being silent and listening both have same words, silent and listen. Sometimes you have to be silent to listen to what child is saying. That gives us lot of information what child is going through. That gives us space for them to open up, that gives them confidence that yes, my parent is ready to listen. Most of the time we brush aside. When a child comes home and says, today somebody has bullied me, it's okay.
Yeah.
This is a common statement. It is not okay. For us, probably it is just child must have gone through a kind of prank, but it is affecting child to come and open up. So when child comes and says that I would like to talk, don't brush aside and say later. Just spend some time, listen, and you will realize what difference it is going to make in the near future.
I think you've given some brilliant parenting tips on how to keep the child open and how to communicate with them. So, on a fun note, if you could revisit your childhood days, is there anything that you would like to change or do?
I would definitely not like to change anything what I have gone through. I had a very lovely childhood. My parents, at least one parent was always there to listen to me, and I had a huge family. Like I said, I am the youngest. I had 3 sisters and 1 brother. I had a very pampered, lovely childhood, which I would like to give to my children as well. So I try my best. I might not give the same, but something similar experience.
And finally, Dr. Suresh, if there's any message or advice that you would like to give to every parent who's listening, what is that?
Parenting is an art. You should learn to listen at times, give them good, nutritious diet, expose them to physical activity, believe in preventive medicine, get your child vaccinated, and set yourself as an example for the child, because for every child, his or her father or mother is a role model. So, when you set an example to be the right one, children will be in the right track. And do not think that anxiety and depression are meant only for children or only for adults. It can be anyone who is affected. When child wants to talk, stay silent and listen.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh. It was wonderful interacting with you, and thank you for such an engaging episode.
Thank you.